Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of some F1 2020 game news from yesterday. I'm sure you guys have probably already seen this anyway. Now ultimately, I would have done a video yesterday, but I had some news about work, so I wasn't in the mood to do it yesterday. Today though is a bank holiday, so let's crack on. And yes, we got a little bit of news about Spain. I've showed us a lap. It's come out that Zandvoort isn't accurate recently. We'll touch on that in a little bit. And also, actually, let's touch on Zandvoort now before we start. Basically, if you remember, I think it was a week ago, they had showed the Zandvoort video of Max Verstappen going around. And basically, that the track's designer, who isn't Herman Telk for once, basically came out and said the track's not accurate. I think he was saying that the curves were they weren't steep enough, basically, in the game. So yes, that's going to be definitely something interesting to see if they rectify that or not. I will tell you now that before we get into this, that I'll put it on screen now. There was a comment on this video on Codemasters where basically they have sorted out the bump at Suzuka. Well, they said they sorted out something. We presume it's going to be the bump that's not actually there in real life. But again, I had something in Twitter, the fact that R Factor 2 is a game that I've actually got R Factor 2 installed. It's been sitting on my computer installed for about a year and I haven't actually played it. I picked up on it, I think it might have been a Black Friday sale a year ago or something like that. Last year or the year before, I can't quite remember. But it's been sitting there waiting for me to actually make a video on it and I haven't yet got round to it, but I'll get to it eventually. But basically, they have laser scanning of their tracks, and basically what Codemasters have done is spent £1.83 on scanning all the tracks. Now, if you've been on Twitter, you'll be able to see what I'm on about, because somebody has done a comparison of it. So, but yes, let's go through the gameplay now. Basically, the tracks aren't accurate. They weren't accurate anyway, and they're not accurate now. So, here is the Hotlap rated E for everybody. And of course, we've got this view, which I'm pretty sure that's the same one as ever. We've got the same track thing that's been in the previous, I think F1 2018 they came out with this thing. But yes. And obviously we got driving as Carlos Sainz. You would have seen a bit of the last sector already at the start of the video. New course going watch me. See, notice the vibration already. I'm going to pause the video here already because there's a couple. First of all, I'm not so sure what's going on with Sainz's helmet. That's not going to move the bar, but basically, I don't think it should be that much vibration. I'm not sure how much you can see this in my video. So a few things to notice as well. Number one, these F170 flags have been planted by Codemasters. They're not there in real life. I speculated in the Zandvoort video that I did that they could have been there in real life. They're not there in real life. They're just been planted there by Codemasters, because of course they like to plant F170 is basically the F1 2020. It's them getting around. I don't know if somebody's picked them up on a licensing issue or not. It's that way getting around, basically. There is some other stuff around as well. But just before we move on, I'm going to point you out to some dashboard here. And ultimately this isn't a replay camera, so we don't get to see the hub. Something is definitely going on with the ERS. There's speculation in the Zandvoort video that ERS could be simplified, basically down to 3 modes. Here it's shown as node 0. I'm not sure if you can see that on the screen. And also, something that was in the Zandvoort video is overtake, which, as we know, that the in real life, F1 cars have an overtake button. So maybe that is what that is, overtake. Again, this is only speculation and rumour about a simplified ERS. If it is, then it'll be more than welcome. We've been banging on for a couple of years that it should be simplified. But even what was the Mo 3 in Zandvoort, I want 0 for nothing, 1 for low, 2 for medium, 3 for high. Is that too much, maybe? If you have the overtake and this button as number 4, then it might be getting a bit too much. Which is why I do auto ERS, because on a pad it is literally impossible. I know on a wheel you've literally got you can make a button to it. I've literally got to scroll down on this. It's hard enough selecting rich. I have to do that on a straight. But yes, that's just a couple of things I noticed that I've just got to say. Let's move through now into turn 1. We'll get to the comparison. I'll show you the comparisons once we've been through the video. I think this is a better thing for you now, actually, in cockpit mode, of the overtake and 0 and 100% ERS, which I don't get. So there's definitely something iffy going with ERS. Again, I don't take too much into what this all means, because but I'd just like to also point out that here, OT, would that be overtake? Again, I don't know. I don't know what any of these buttons mean. I race on a pad, remember. I cry out for the days where F1 was an actual steering wheel as opposed to this mini computer that we've got. So we go through turn 1 in cockpit mode, and then we've got all these, another series of F1 70 flags. Again, these are being added by Codemasters, they're not there in real life. So we move there. I'm not sure if that. Can I just rewind that shot? No, we didn't have DRS open. Sorry. That was just. I know there was a glitch back in F1 2017 that there was a lockup there as well, where F1, the AI would actually open DRS where they shouldn't do. I know it happened at Austria. Yes, just want to point out on these replay cameras, by the way, as well. Basically, this car, once again, is the FOM car. It's not the actual McLaren car. They haven't modelled that yet, and they probably may not even get that onto launch. We'll have to wait and see. So move through now into the middle sector. We've got these new marker boards here, and this is where the new bit comes in. There's another lock up there. This has now got a wider entry, so that gives you a wider entry in this one. This one has got less camber now this turn, which obviously, if you've been on previous F1 games, you know if you do too much, then you get twitch on there. And then we come into the little chicane, which is a lot flatter now. Remember, they used to go right down. That's been flattened out, and obviously we move up to the finish line, and there we go. So yes, now we move to where the things aren't accurate. So we are obviously on. Make this full screen. There we go. This is Twitter. This is I'll leave a link to this tweet as well. This is from Lucas Müller, who's done some reading. So he's at turn 1. This is turn 1. Notice this curb. He's done something. And in real life, they've got these bits of sausage added to them. And these bits of sausage are literally not included all over the track. You see here, there's a sausage there, there's nothing there. The actual fact, there's the Astro strip there that's not even there on the Codemasters tweet, on the Codemasters game. Got another thing here. In this one, it's just grass. So this one's been completely missed out. Not just the yellow bit of sausage colour, but actual fact, a little bit of, I think that's AstroTurf actually. And this one's actually a bigger one because there's this bit of AstroTurf here, but actual fact it's grass in the game. And this is actually, is that actually gravel or is it cement? I'm not entirely sure what this surface on the left here, but that's not there either. So that's a big one by Codemasters. They haven't got this as gravel or gravel or cement or whatever this is. This is definitely not grass. Again, there's another strip missing, and there's also this thing missing. And also the sponsor's different, but I think this is, I'm not sure if this is from F120, if this is from pre-season testing or if this is from last year's Spanish Grand Prix. I don't know. Then we got this one. We've got again another sausage curb which is been missed. This one, it's got another one that's been, but it's not even there. And even in the final sector that's been revamped, not there either. And you can see here that in this one, there's this curb here, which sort of actually looks, on board this one, it sort of looks like they have got the terrain right. It's just the fact that they haven't added these features. This looks actually a little bit different. And obviously there's this one on the left hand side, which isn't there either. So yes, obviously that is Codemasters' failure to add everything, and they need to throw more money at it. Basically, they cannot be going on spending £1.87 on laser scanning. If a developer of the R-Factor 2, which has a fraction of the budget, can do it and get it accurate, then surely Codemasters could. It's not hard. Yes, in terms of the lap, this looks like a bog standard map to me. I'm not an expert at driving. I'm a noob, so there we go. But yes, ultimately one thing now is to talk about the new Dirt game that's also been released. I'm just going to overlay here now the trailer that they had, which Dirt is going to be the very first one. It's also actually coming to the next generation of consoles. It will also be the current Xbox One, PS5, but it's coming in October basically, which I sort of expected this, because Codemasters are going to be moving forward. F1 2021 will be the big thing, and this is their build-up basically to F1 2021 will be the big thing, the start of the next generation of delivery for consoles. Basically, there's more ways to play. There's a script. There's a career mode which lets you choose your own path as you progress. There's a narrative feature as well, which they've got a voice cast led by Troy Baker, Nolan North, if you know who they are. A split screen as well. Which I'm not sure if that was. I think that was actually in Dirt 4 anyway. Split screen. And then obviously there's also routes, including they've put in New York. There's Italy in there, Brazil, China, and a whole load of other. There's 70 different tracks on that game. Some of them made up, some of them not, and they've added some more weather as well. Hopefully that means that we get more weather. Some of this will transfer to the F1 games. I don't know. But yes, that's where I'm going to leave it today for today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for news, see more episodes of F1 2020 game news as when it come out. Although I do admit there has not been a lot. In actual fact, the Zandvoort thing was literally the only thing since now and the previous episode. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.